You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.
Are you ready to learn the 3 secrets to launching a successful podcast? Hi, I'm Bill, a recent client of the Podcast Mogul. If you've been thinking about starting a podcast but aren't sure where to begin, he's got you covered. He is hosting a free webinar where he will share the 3 secrets that can help you launch, grow, and monetize your podcast without any fancy equipment or technical headaches. Click the link in the show notes to save your spot now and let him help get your podcast off the ground.
Hey entrepreneurs, it's your podcast mogul Phil Better here. I am excited for this episode as I know you are. Before we jump into this episode, I'm going to ask you if you are also a podcaster and you're looking to grow your podcast or monetize your podcast, make sure you stay till the end of the episode. I have a special deal for you, or a special offer, if you will. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's jump into the episode.
Welcome to Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. Join the podcast mogul Phil Better as he interviews successful entrepreneurs that make their living in the digital world. Now, let's join your host, Phil Better, and his special guest today on Invest in Yourself, the Digital
Gentlemen, welcome back to Invest in Yourself, the Digital Entrepreneur Podcast. I am, of course, your host with the most, Phil Better, and today I'm excited because we have a guest today that is all about empowering women to be paid what they deserve, how to negotiate, how to pretty much, she's the founder of the 30K program. Please, everyone, put your hands together for Mia Smithson. Mia, thank you for being here today.
Awesome. I'm excited to be here.
So I talked a little bit about what you do. You've worked with companies like Disney, Blue Cross, Blue Shield, Microsoft, all these amazing companies. But I would love for you to introduce yourself to my audience.
Yeah, definitely. So I have scaled my career to the Global Director of Talent Management, leading hiring and leadership development for a workforce of 800 in 7 countries. And I started the 30K program after finding out that I was underpaid by $30,000, which is not fun. No one wants to hear that news.
No.
Yeah. So right after I found that out, I hired a coach. I learned the fundamentals of negotiation, and then I got 3 promotions within a year. So it was a bit of a crazy year. But I know what the gender pay gap feels like, right? Because I've personally experienced it. And then I've interviewed about 5,000 tech professionals at this point, about 2,500 of which have been female. And if I had to quantify it, about 1,500 of those women just haven't even tried to negotiate. Like, there's been no negotiation on their end at all. And so, I'm here to empower women to effectively negotiate and be all that they can be in the workplace and beyond.
So I want, a workforce of 4, that's huge. And so when you found out, because I'm always interested, because I don't understand why people think that women need to be paid less or there's a pay discrepancy. It's the same job. Everyone gets paid the same. How did you find out that you were being paid 30K less than, was it inside the company or was it industry wide?
That's a great question. So it was a bit of an unusual situation. So I my boss had asked me to recruit a senior recruiter role. My title was also a senior recruiter. And the comp range that he gave me to recruit this person went up to $30K more than I was making. And I was like, oh, this is super interesting. Like, is there like a reason why I'm not paid the top of that pay band? Like, was there a skill gap or anything? And my boss was like, no, like you didn't negotiate. And so here's the thing, right? I could have sat there and I could have been like, how dare you? This is utterly ridiculous. And I could have like blamed him. I could have blamed the company, like all these things, right? At the end of the day though, it is my fault. What? Yeah, I didn't negotiate my salary because I thought that if I negotiated that they wouldn't offer me the job, right? So I didn't believe in me, and so they didn't believe in paying me more. And so my mission is to be an example of what is possible, right? What is possible when you believe in you and when you believe in your power to get the compensation that you deserve, right? Because not knowing what is possible held me back, and it holds back millions of women.
Now, do you feel, this is really interesting to me because I know a lot of guys, they negotiate, like the minute they step into a room or they go for a job, they're negotiating because they know they already have this preconceived notion of their value. Do you think women, when they're entering the workforce, they just feel lucky to get the role and they don't see their value?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. I hear, okay, you can sense someone's energy, right? When someone's like really, really nervous and they're about ready to public speak, and you can just kind of tell like they're like kind of shaking a little bit, right? Like you can sense that. And what I sense is what I call graspy energy. It's just kind of like, please take me, please, I'm so scared, right? And it's like, I almost like imagine, it's almost like they're like, this is like the only piece of food and they're on an island. Like that's almost like how I feel like sometimes when like it gets to like the money conversation and it's just like this otherwise amazingly confident woman becomes less confident, right? So yeah, I would say it's the graspy energy, and it's also the scarcity, and it is unfounded scarcity. What I mean by that is in December, there were 11 million open jobs in the United States. There are a lot of jobs out there. Even in a recession, there are still a lot of really incredible jobs out there. And so when you go into a job search and you have this scarcity mentality of like, oh, I just need this one thing, right? It's going to be a lot harder than if you go in there and you say, lots of fish in the sea, let's do this. I got some value to add, right?
Mm-hmm. No, that's very true. Like you have to go in already. I look at, when I was doing interviews before I started my business, I was interviewing them. I was making sure that they were a good fit for me instead of them being like, am I a good fit for this company?
That 100%. And that's actually something I notice a lot of the women in our program forget. What is their yes criteria, right? Like actually predefining out like, what are my non-negotiables? Right? What am I looking for? Like, and having that like all concretely written down, even before you start job searching, right? It isn't just what that company is looking for. It's what you're looking for as well. And then finding that mutual match, right? That's where the magic lies.
So how did you come up with the first iteration of the 30K program? Sorry.
Yeah. So I started doing career coaching. And well, okay, I'll be real. I started career and life coaching. And then no one hired me to do life coaching, even though I was advertising it. I'm not kidding you. And I was like, okay, fine. I guess they just wanted to hear my career advice. And the result that, we helped our clients to get the most frequently was an extra $30K of income. And I was like, I was underpaid by $30,000. Like the common result is $30K. I feel like the name needs to be the 30K program, right? And I really wanted to help women because, I have been a woman who was underpaid, right? And so I feel like the closest to that like person, right? Because I was that person.
You're your ideal client right to a T. So obviously,
yeah.
When you when you did finally step into yourself and start doing the negotiations to get that 30 plus, to get the multiple promotions within, like, was it 3 years you got the two promotions, or was it
3 promotions in a year?
Three. I apologize for lessening it. 3 promotions.
It's okay. I know it's
What did it feel like when you got that first kind of like win, when it went from, oh, I got this promotion, and then there was a second promotion? Were you questioning, like, is this really happening to me?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. Like, I noticed right away that I felt unworthy. Like, I was like, I didn't deserve this, blah, 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 right? And I definitely felt imposter syndrome. And then I had to do a lot of identity work on separating my personal worth from my professional worth, right? And saying that, like, my professional worth is like, that is dependent on the amount of value that I put into the marketplace and what the marketplace is willing to pay for that value. My personal worth is not up for negotiation. That's already 100%, right? And then when you have that rock solid personal worth, right, then you can go into any situation confidently because you recognize that you don't have to be quote unquote perfect. Like, you're already like enough as a human being, right? And so, and I will just say personally, like, I went from a role where I had no public speaking and I wasn't leading a team to all of a sudden where I was leading a team. And not only that, but I was in charge of speaking in front of all of the leaders in the company, as well as doing some like all company-wide trainings that everyone would see, right? And it was literally like an overnight thing. It was like, all of a sudden, that's what I'm in charge of doing, right? And so I just had to be like, look, I'm not going to be like perfect. I'm okay with occasionally making a mistake, as long as I know that I'm putting my best self out there and that I'm like really giving this all I can, right? And like that I think is truly confidence, right? Is when you know that regardless of the result or the outcome, that like you still believe in you.
I love it. No, and it's you have to believe in yourself. You have to invest in yourself. Like you said, you hired a coach to help you get to the next level, to learn all this, and you invested in yourself, which is obviously the name of the show. But what are some of the what are the reactions to the women when they go through the program and they get that 30K, or they get the bump that they were looking for, or the award or the recognition that they feel they deserve?
Yeah, it's really fascinating because like we watch our women develop a deeper sense of, first, I would say it's competence, and then that competence leads to confidence. So negotiation is a skill like riding your bike. And typically after you learn how to ride your bike, you're not fearful of riding another bike because you know how to ride a bike. You know what I'm saying here? Mm-hmm. And since negotiation is a skill, what's like the funny byproduct is all of a sudden like at home, all of a sudden she's negotiating with her spouse to pick up the kids, and now she's going to be the one who cooks meals because she is an incredible chef and loves it, right? And now she is negotiating at the dry cleaner to, have them like get a better deal on washing clothes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like all of a sudden this like compounding in other areas, like outside of just like professionally, starts to occur. And then I think just it turns into this natural like confidence. It just starts to be really, really fun. Like, I thoroughly love negotiation. I think it's like one of the, like, I would rather like be in a negotiation than I would like watch TV or like eat like any day. I'm not kidding you. And it's because I like think it's so enjoyable. And so it's like when like that's what we see is like when a woman becomes really strong at it, and starts enjoying it, then there's all these other, like, I'd call them strategic byproducts of like success.
And in your program, are you seeing that you're attracting more youthful, more like early people in their career, or are you seeing people in the middle of their career, the end of their career, trying to get that final pay bump before they have to retire? What kind of clientele are you seeing in your business?
Yeah, so one really interesting thing is that like 80% of the women who join the program are already making 6 figures. So we definitely do appeal to a certain like echelon of women. And then like 25 to 45 is like the range that we see the most common. So yeah, I would consider it like executive coaching more than career coaching, just because of the type of woman that we attract.
And I had a follow-up question. Darn it. Where do you want to go with the 30K program? Is there like, are you looking to do another program? Are you looking to expand into different areas?
Yeah. So, I mean, statistically speaking, women are still underpaid federally by 17.7%. So I think there's still a lot of work to do in this space. I'm a big believer in focus. And so just focusing on helping our women to achieve results and do it in like a faster way and be more effective, like that's really what I'm focused on. And I mean, even already when the program started, it was like within a year, like we offered we'd help you get a new higher paying job you adore that's 30K more. But now we realize it's actually within 48 coaching sessions, which takes about 6 to 8 months, right? And we've been able to tighten it and remove a lot of the things that we found are like, I would say the nice but not musts, right? And so that's what I'm looking to continue doing, is refining and really figuring out and like optimizing the program, and just having it be as valuable as possible.
And I just remember the question, and it fits into everything. Right now, you mentioned that you see more high-level execs, or execs at least, coming into your program trying to get the bump in pay that they deserve. Do you see an industry specific that's coming into your?
Yeah, and I will really quick specify what I'm defining as an executive. So I'm actually seeing it's like manager level and above. That is typically the type of woman who, joins our program. And then for industries, a lot in the tech sector. And I don't know if that's because a lot of my experience is within tech, and I know that world so well. We're not like, you literally could be in any industry, because it is once again skills that we're teaching that are transferable regardless of industry. But yeah, for some reason tech, and consulting as well, we see that.
And so I want to touch on the tech. Do you feel that because tech has been kind of like a bro haven, if you will, that's why you feel you're seeing more women coming into there, because there's that exclusivity, that the boys club, whereas other industries are kind of more, maybe not equal, but they're more leveled out and women are more accepted in those places?
I think that's definitely true. There's also a lot more, like, from what I've seen, like tech as well as consulting, like they're typically higher paying industries. Like it's a lot easier to kind of go in there and negotiate really effectively versus like if you work in like insurance, if you work in the government, like you can still do it, but like typically they don't pay quite the same amount. So I think part of it is like maybe these women realizing like, hey, I'm actually in a really like high paying industry. Like let me invest in a coach that long term, we'll see really positive like ripple effects. And the big thing is that like I'm focused less on just like the ROI of 1 year, like long term is what I'm really focused on. So the average woman works 43 years. The average person in America works 43 years. And so when you take $30,000 times 43, it's 1.29 million. And so if a woman joins our program in the very beginning, she could essentially make an extra like $1.29 million, which is like that to me is a really exciting number. And that to me is a lot like more exciting than just like $30,000. You know what I'm saying? Because it's that crazy.
No. Listen, if I knew at the end of my career that I was going to get an extra $1.2 million because I took this program at the start of my career, I'd definitely be happy with that. That's right now, that's life changing. In 10 years, when I retire, who knows what it could lead to? Because if I learn the negotiation skills now, I could probably be negotiating even more. Like this is on conservative numbers.
Yeah.
I want to know, you've been doing this for about roughly how long now? This program you've been running?
Let's see. I'd say about a year. I've been doing career coaching for about 2 years. This program for about a year.
In the last 2 years, and already having accumulated a lot of wins for your clients and yourself, is there a memory that you care to share of maybe results that you helped with one of your clients, or something that you were able to achieve because you started this journey?
So one of the things that actually is like the most memorable is my sister. So obviously not in the program, but I helped her to increase her comp by like, I think it's like over $50,000 a year roughly, just through like one role change. And that to me, I would say is like one of my most proud accomplishments, because she means like the world to me. And so being able to help someone like so close, and it just, I don't know, it was a really, really impactful experience. Actually, for both of us. Like, I feel like we're both a lot closer now. We're all...
Yeah, no, that is, no, I'm sorry. Helping a family member or your sister, like specifically your sister or your sibling, is just get more money and live a better life. If that doesn't bring you together, I don't know what will, apart from like the shared trauma of youth. But yeah, you've just like changed not only your sister's life, but her future generation's life, because she has that skills that she can then pass on. Yeah. What is it that, I know that you want to help women, like obviously get paid what they deserve and not have this 17%. It was 17% you mentioned that federally, like make that as close as possible as zero in your lifetime. Is there anything else that you want to do? Like, what is it that Mia wants to do?
That's a really good question. I mean, I don't know. I would say one other cause that's kind of close to my heart is that right now it's like 4.2% of female businesses hit 7 figures in annual revenue. And that's a stat, like literally only 4%, right? 4.2%. That's a stat that also really, really does bother me. So I could see myself in the future taking action and creating a solution for that problem specifically. But at this point in time, I, once again, am a huge believer in focus. It is, I'm not going to lie to you. I feel like I naturally have an ADD brain. I want to be like doing all these things at once, but I know that like, at this point in time, being very, very focused is like what is necessary in order to like help the people and that we want to help and serve most effectively.
Of course, no, I'm not trying to dissuade your focus. It's just I'm planning future episodes when you come back and you have all these amazing things. You talked about it on the episode, and throw people back to listen to see if it came together. Oops, gotta be careful there. I would like to know, for the people listening, both men and women, but we're going to talk specifically to the women here. What is a tip you have for them going into a negotiation to negotiate their salary, maybe a quick small raise or something along those lines?
Yeah. So this is probably not the advice that you're expecting, but I think it's one of the most important things. So discomfort is the currency of your dreams. And I do believe that negotiations are inherently uncomfortable if it's something that you're not accustomed to. And so I would say the first thing is to know that it will probably be a little bit uncomfortable and to lean into that. Yeah. So, and that's a little bit more like a mindset. And then like on a more strategic standpoint, I would say, don't spill your candy. What I mean by that is that it federally is illegal for a recruiter or a hiring manager to ask you what you're currently earning. Nonetheless, I have heard hundreds upon hundreds of people tell me what they're currently making, even though I've not asked them that question, right? Don't say it. It is literally like playing poker and showing the other side your cards. It is illogical, right? So instead, do something what's called reversing. And what is reversing is, let's just say Phil asks me, what's the salary range that you're targeting? And I reverse back and I say, before I answer that question, I'm curious, could you let me know the range for the role, right? And you may already be able to find this on the job description because sometimes it is posted. And then let's just say that Phil gets back, he says the range. Then what you could say back is, is there flexibility in that range? Some of the companies I'm interviewing with are a little bit higher. Woo! Right? And so here's, I love that so so much because it's showing that like you are in demand and you got options. It's very tactful. It's very professional. Obviously, only say that if that's true.
Yes.
That is my favorite line. I am not kidding you. We have what's called the Bible of salary negotiation, and we literally have that exact quote. Is there flexibility in that range? Some of the companies I'm interviewing with are a little bit higher, and they literally like copy and paste that into a doc, and they're like, "What is that?" So fun.
That is just powerful. Like, even wow. I wish I knew that when I was still in the corporate world. That is amazing. If anything, you take away that quote is. I'm just going to clip that because that is. What's that?
And then one other thing, and I'm not kidding you, I never get asked this, and I'm like, why aren't you asking me this? Is so at offer stage, right? Saying, one last request, given the current market conditions, I'm looking for 6 months of severance should a layoff occur. You literally get that in writing. You could easily get I am not kidding you. If they want you bad enough, you could get that into your contract, right? Right? Because if they're like, oh, we're not going to do any layoffs, it does happen. But if you have that in writing, woo!
Look at the beginning of the year, just that, especially in tech. But yeah, that is great. I wish you were around 3 years ago so I could have used you and negotiated better salary.
Oh my gosh, so fun. And then one other thing. So if you are manager level and above, typically I recommend asking for a signing bonus as well as a performance-based bonus. And the exact words to say is, in line with the market research I've done, and based on my skill set, I'm looking for a base plus whatever signing bonus, stock options, and a performance bonus. So it's a little bit wordy, but you want to get all those different variables, right? So you want to get your base in there. So let's just say a $200K base plus a $10K signing bonus. A $10K signing bonus is super, super, super common for manager and director level roles. C-level is a little bit different. And then bringing up stock options and a performance bonus, right? And that one-liner right there, you want to really have all those elements so that you're not just going for the base and excluding these other pieces of the pie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, fully. And I'm pretty sure as a manager or the person receiving this offer, you're going to look at this person with a lot more respect because they're coming in with everything that they're asking for what they feel they deserve. So you're going to have to respect this person.
Well, this is the thing that people don't realize, okay? They think, oh my gosh, this person is going to turn me down because I asked for too much. But that's not true, right? I mean, yes, technically that one employer could decide it is out of range for their role, but the fact that you negotiated is actually a feather in your cap. And why is that? It's because if they hire you, what are you going to do? You're going to negotiate on their behalf. You're going to be the person that they call when it's mergers and acquisitions and they're trying to get this deal with the company they're trying to acquire, right? And they pull you in because how you, in that salary negotiation, you were fierce, right? And you, came up with a really incredible mutually beneficial agreement, right? Having negotiation skills can only benefit you, and showing that, right, during the interview process, oh, please, it's great.
They will. They're not going to, if they don't want you, if they don't agree with anything, they won't hire you. So if they don't hire you, whatever, they lose out. But they're going to hire you because they're going to know you're competent. You know what to do. You're not just going to be a soulless entity inside the business. Yeah. You know your worth, and you want to bring your worth to the company or bring the company's worth up. If I was hiring and I saw someone willing to negotiate with that and come in at not necessarily a hard bargain, but something that's this is what I'm worth, I'm going to feel that they're going to bring that to the table. And generally they do because they got what they wanted. They're going to bring to the table. Yeah. Mia, I'm having a great time. I'm loving talking with you, but we are coming up to the end. So I'm going to get to the spark question of the show, which is by Seek Discomfort. The spark question is, what have you dreamed of doing for a long time, and what is holding you back from it?
Dreamed of doing for a long time. I don't know. I would say most of the things are like I literally do. Like I wanted to teach English in Thailand, and I literally moved to Thailand and taught kindergarten. So like I would say for the most part, I'm pretty good about this. There is one thing that I haven't done yet. It's like, this is gonna sound like the weirdest thing, but it's like a bathtub. It's called like the bathtub like entrepreneurial community, and it's basically like a whole bunch of like 7 and 8 figure entrepreneurs, and they go on like a vacation together, and then they'll have like guest speakers come in, and it's $10,000, and I've been like eyeing it for like quite a while.
Do it.
So I
just do it. Next time you come onto the podcast, which is going to be at least in a year, maybe 2, you're going to have come on and say, I'm going to ask you specifically, have you done the bathtub entrepreneur speaking thing? And I hope it's a yes. That's what I'm hoping for.
Love it.
Because you can even be there you could even go there to talk about the negotiation skills that you have helped people get, because everybody needs better negotiation skills. Mia, I'm going to jump off stage here. I want you to tell my audience where they can find you, how they can connect with you for the 30K program, because you obviously know what you're doing, and an extra 30K in anybody's life is great.
Awesome. Yeah, go to the30kprogram.com, and once you get there, you'll get a pop-up that says Master the 7 Seconds, and you can download that, and it has resume samples from people who've worked at Microsoft, at Airbnb, just a ton of really incredible resources in it. So, yeah. Awesome.
And of course, Mia, I want to thank you so much for being here. It was a pleasure talking with you. I can't wait to talk to you again and see where you are in the next 2 years when you come back.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil.
It was my pleasure. To my audience, make sure you check out the show notes down below to get all the information, and definitely check out the free resources. And as I always say, remember to invest in yourself. Hey, digital entrepreneurs, thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Now, if you're looking to take your podcast to the next level, like most of these entrepreneurs have taken their business to the next level, to scale it, if you will, make sure you check out my brand new newsletter. Links are down below. It is called the Monetization Mogul Syndicate newsletter, or it could be Feel Better Stories of Monetization Moguls, or Making Moguls is what I do. So make sure you go ahead and check that out. But I want to thank you very much for listening. And as always, remember to invest in yourself.
Thanks for tuning in. Now it's time to take the next step. When you're ready to dive deeper into how to launch, grow, and monetize your podcast, Phil's got something special for you. Join him for a free webinar where he'll reveal the 3 secrets that have helped countless entrepreneurs succeed in podcasting. Click the link in the show notes to save your spot, and let's turn your podcasting dreams into reality.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. With Indeed sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates, so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Don't wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/kidsandfamily. Just go to Indeed.com/kidsandfamily right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need.